Yeah, I think what would be helpful now is
Mhm.
actually to describe the 4 archetypes. Yeah,
Mhm.
so we know what we're actually talking about,
Okay.
or our listeners know
Let
also
me.
what we're talking
I
about.
think it's better. Like I'll say one, and then you can ask some more
Yeah.
questions, and then we
Mhm.
can go for the next ones.
Yeah.
I think it's easier
Okay.
this way.
Mhm.
So yeah, the king, like I said, is like, it's about, first of all, it's like in these circles, for example, it's
Mhm.
important to see other men. So there's like two ways that a king can manifest in your life, or the two things that a king should do is like, one is like having order in himself. So the order means like being calm, understanding, and having this grounded energy. So when you're
Mhm.
around people, you're grounded, and people feel that groundedness,
Mhm.
because a king always acts from a calm place, you know,
Mm.
and not like stressed and acting out of emotions, for
Mhm.
example. And he's also looking to serve and like protect his people. So
Mhm.
like, if you have this king energy in you, you should, like, when you're walking down the street and you see something happening, you should be like, you should do something about it, and
Mhm.
not just turn your eye and keep
Mm.
going. Also like protecting women, like if you see something happen somewhere, like in a club or somewhere where, like,
Mhm.
you think like a woman is not feeling well, it's like, in that sense, like, check that guy. Like, you don't
Mhm.
have to go be violent or anything, but just, like, that is like type, like, protecting, like, in today's society.
Mhm.
But like understanding from like a kingship, it's like, protecting your people, taking care of the
Mhm.
women in your life, taking care of the kids, the people. A king is a good father. He
Mhm.
takes time to go and see his son's football match. He takes time
Mhm.
to see his sisters, daughters' ballet lessons or
Mhm.
classes. Like, he takes time out of the day to serve his people, and
Mm.
is centered in that. That is for him very important. And one of the important things also is like to see other men. As a good
Mm.
king, you should see the potential in other men, and
Mm.
see where they're good and what they're good at, and
Mhm.
tell this to them, because being seen is like first place for transformation for a young man.
Mhm.
A young man without guidance is going to be lost and like go into troubles and find ways or cope with these things,
Mhm.
be it drugs and anything
Mhm.
over abusing
Mhm.
substances or whatever it is. And you can like see it and see like, oh, this, you're good at this, like your confidence, man, you can use that to channel that into this.
Mhm.
And when it comes from a man has this king calmness state, it actually goes to them, and then they
Mhm.
start understanding it, and then they start shifting, and it's like chemical reactions in the body for this person too that makes them feel good. So it's like, it's just seeing them and the potential, and then be like, yeah, you're great at this, keep pursuing this. And like, that is something that we as men, awakened men that are working on themselves, should do for the younger generation.
Mhm.
And men that, it doesn't have to be younger. Like, I've had this with men that are older than me too, where I
Mhm.
see like they're amazing at this, but they don't see it. They
Mhm.
still have this inner doubt in them.
Mhm.
So just being able to be like, hey, come here, you're really good at this, man. You should pursue this. Keep
Mhm.
going. You're better at this. Like, don't think it, like, because I can tell and see if I watch people, and then
Mhm.
just telling them, and that shifts. 3 days
Mhm.
later, like, yo, you're right, man. You're right. I should do more of this.
Mm. Wow,
And
so beautiful. Yes.
uh,
Like cheers to more kings.
mm-hmm.
Yeah, I love the description of it. Like you were saying before, something like, that a lot of men think that they are the kings. Like that's like a big wish for men. A lot of men want to be the king,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
It's like, it's a big word. Like, of course, we all, women want to be queens, men want to be kings.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's a
Yeah.
good wish to have.
Mm-hmm.
But like, how to come from that place that you were describing? Like, it's this divine king energy,
Yeah.
not like this shadow side, like you were touching a little bit before, like how to know that it's this possession or ego game of being a king.
Well, I mean, that's in this podcast, I think it would be going way too deep into these things.
Yeah.
I mean, you will realize that, like, the both shadow aspects is, one is the tyrant, they say, and one is the weakling.
Mm-hmm.
And the weakling is the one that just didn't receive enough recognition or anything when they were like young. So they like take themselves back in situations like this. They don't go in front, like they would never, take the lead in something. They're just following around in a sense, and haven't found themselves yet. And the tyrant is, like I said, you know, they come from a very ego place. Like, oh, I'm the king. Like, you got to listen to what I say. Like, I am, you know, like I said, the biggest difference is the king in his fullness, he serves. The king, as a tyrant, he takes. He thinks, this is my possession. This is the women, for example, these are my possession. Like when he's in a relationship, he can be abusive, for example, you know, towards the women. Abusive towards the kids, and these are things. These are like when he thinks, like, you know. But the weakling can be this too, because the weakling then finds this, like, that's why these two shadow sides, they kind of sometimes, what's the word for that? They like go from one to one, because the weakling can become the tyrant, because the weakling bursts and becomes a tyrant, because he wants to have it, and then at home he's a tyrant, because he cannot be the king outside. You know, all these things. But it's deeper. Like, it's
we can't go that deep here, but I'm like so happy you're giving this overview.
Of course.
Yes, I think it serves a lot of men. That's our purpose today.
Yeah.
But it's beautiful. Yes.